Good evening. This is going to be a little bit random because I didn't prepare anything. In fact, it's been a long day for me. My name is Jim Thomas, and as you said, I've got a daughter at Canyon, been in the area, lived in the area for over 25 years. And my wife's family goes back to the days here in the area where it was nothing but groves of oranges here and cut down a few trees and built their houses. So there's definitely a tie to the community, if you will. I want to just talk about consequences. Last time I spoke when I was up here, by the way, back to my tire day real quick. So I told you it was going to be random. I was in Sacramento all day today, and when I came back down today, I really didn't want to come. I didn't want to come because I was tired. Didn't want to come because I knew it was going to be a lot of drama. But then I also thought about something I tell people all the time, including my children, that if you really believe in something, you can't just complain about it. You've got to do something about it. And that's kind of where I think a lot of us are tonight. I've already heard it once or twice that people didn't want to be here. And they're upset because they had to take time away from their family. When I was here last time, I talked about making right choices and thinking carefully about what you do and what you say. I would bet at this point, you may or may not be thinking back towards what you decided before, but hopefully you'll be thinking about the decisions you make going forward. I'm going to ask a few questions. I mean, where do we go from here? I mean, even if Mr. Salas stays on the board, how does that go? The credibility is going to be very much at stake. The question about the credibility about the board is going to be very much at stake. I'd go so far as to say that even if some of you weren't known to the voters in general, and I could put myself in that position. Sometimes I go to the ballot a lot of times and I see a lot of people, and typically I just click off Republican. I think some of you guys can visualize that yourself. I definitely will know the names of the folks that are on the ballot box. That's probably going to be something you guys... I think that's something of a consequence, but something that may be an unintended consequence for what's going on here today for yourself as well. But it's going to go beyond that. They're going to think about the decisions, they're going to think about the actions, they're going to think about your credibility, and it's going to come up all the time. I told Mr. Salas when he called me too at home, about a story that when I first came to have my daughter in school, even though I've been here for an awful long time, and I got to watch that clock up there, I could keep going. I started at tutor time here, and from day one, we always heard about the board, and you don't want to buy into the rumors and the things that people say about mismanagement of money and all that type of thing, or the lack of credibility and stuff like that. And that's now been 15 years ago for me. Somebody else said it a couple of times. Here we are still. I would be really careful about your decisions going forward. I think your credibility is immensely challenged and beaten at this point. Your names are now public, and no matter what continues on at this point, it's not going to be forgotten because of how it's been handled. There hasn't been explanation of the process. There hasn't been, really a transparent process or explanation of things. And speaking from where you come from a political area, it's not going to be good for you. So please consider what you do next and the decisions you make, and do things for the right reason, not for the political reason.